Evening, evening. You know the usual drill. Wait and see if anyone turns up. And then go from there really. Standard 5 minutes before we kick it all off. Standard session really. Nothing necessary other than yourselves. Maybe a mat to make it a little bit more comfortable if you're on a hard surface. If you are hanging about for your foam roller session at the end, then make sure your foam roller's to hand. But other than that, let me know who's in, let me know who's stretching, who's with me. Oh, I think I've got 1 or 2 at the moment. How many of you are in desperate need of stretch at the end of this week? Have you all been training hard, or has it been a little bit of a lighter training week for you all? Anyone care to comment? Me personally, a bit of a mixed bag to be honest. I will be stretching legs out because have been moaning about my hamstrings all week. Hi Joe, how are you getting on? I am going to cover quite a bit of stretching for runners because I know a lot of you are getting out into the fresh air either on your bikes or actually getting out and running. So it will be a good chance to get some good stretching of your lower body in. Knees, how many of you are suffering with your knees? At the moment I've got one bit of a niggle on my right knee, so I'm going to show you some techniques of how to hopefully get a little bit of relief by using your foam roller as well. So let me know what style of training you've been up to, and is there any particular areas that are really bothering you? Otherwise, be a free-for-all, but however much of a free-for-all you can have when you're stretching. It's not exactly high-intensity stretching now, is it? You're in much need of a stretch. Brilliant, so am I. And it is something that I fail to do unless I'm absolutely in dire straits. So I'm the world's worst. I think a lot of us are. You know, you only, if it ain't broke, you think, be fine. And then by the time you actually are in that much discomfort, you should have really been on top of it beforehand. So this is something that really I'm going to try and keep in my usual training program from now on, because unfortunately we're all getting older by the day. It's come to that point in life where you all start to think, oh, I'm feeling my bones. It's true. Looking forward to this. Done Anna's combat at low impact. Rachel with me as well. I know a lot of you are into your fast and furious workouts, and as soon as you get a niggle and it prevents you from doing it, you think like, I don't know what to do with myself. Try and see it as an opportunity. I know an injury or a bit of a niggle tends to make people freak out thinking, oh, that's it, I can't do what I normally do. Well, no, do something different. And different doesn't have to be bad. Different can be, you get different results out of it, and that's a positive. I've been training a whole lot more strength than what I used to, because all of my training at work was tons of cardio, whether it's on the bikes, whether it's on the floor, but I've got a load more strength training into my workout. And yeah, I'm not doing it because I'm injured, I'm doing it because I've had an opportunity to, and I've seen loads of different changes for the positive. Had a chance to do a little bit of running. What has that taught me? It's quite enjoyable. It's been a while since I did a bit of running, but it's also taught me that it does take a lot out of our knees, and I do miss our studio floor, because concrete floors, they're not as forgiving. So this is where a bit of TLC is important. So yeah, a whole lot of lower body stretching. Again, my camera is angled, so I won't be standing up because you'll lose me. So it's all done on the floor. If you want to stand up at any point, you can do. So if we're doing any upper body stretches and you feel it's better to stand for them, go for it. Okay, I'm just going to stay down here, otherwise you're going to lose me head. I'm just going to press play. If you let me know whether this yoga style music is at the right volume, hold your horses. It's very chilling. I think I can masseuse might pop in and then start doing some Swedish massage. Highly unlikely. If it does happen, don't know how. We'd probably have to shoo them out, wouldn't we, because of social distancing. But right, shall we begin then? Let's start. I'm going to get my stopwatch up because it's important for how long we hold each individual stretch. So whilst we're down here, we'll do a little bit of multitasking. I'm going to start by putting the soles of my feet together. I'm going to take a side angle just because, feet together. Pull them nice and close in towards you, okay? You can keep hold of them as well. Sit up nice and straight, and then with your own body weight and your own muscle control, try and stretch the legs, so push them down towards the ground. You should feel the whole hip area open up, and it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. So if you experience any pain, relax, okay? So push them down. Chest up and squeeze your shoulder blades together, okay? So good posture, and keep that pressure in that downward face. We're naturally trying to push our knees down with our own muscle control. Then relax and lift them, and then press them back down again. So just nice and easy. We're going to do those stretches a couple of times. Just hopefully things will start to relax off, and we might get a little bit more flexibility within those joints. So relax it off, and then all the way down. Just done standing workout, so you're going to get stretched. Brilliant. It's a good time to stretch off because all the muscles are warm. Just be aware that when you are warm, you probably can go into stretch a little bit deeper. Now that's good, but it's also bad. If you have got a bit of a niggle, what you don't want to do is push a little bit too far whilst everything's warm and cause any further problems. So just be mindful of that. Relax. But it is a good time to actually get a good stretch out. And then push down one more time. How's our flexibility, folks? Some of us really good. I know I'm not. Right, just relax. Take the feet out in front of you. So nice long length of the legs. And all I want you to do, I just want you to reach for your toes to begin with. Don't need to pull on them just yet. Just reach forward and just hold that stretch. Squeezing my shoulder blades and just pushing my fingertips forwards, and then just ease back a little bit. So a couple of times. So reach forward, and each time, hopefully, you can get your hands a little bit either closer towards your toes, or they can literally reach over the top of your toes. So I've managed to get a good inch or so further into that, and then relax off. One more time. So I'm just getting a little bit more. Now from there, if you can, hold onto your toes and slowly pull them towards you. Now anybody who's suffering with plantar fasciitis, this is a really good one. This will help. So pull the toes towards you carefully, and then relax off, sitting up, and then reach again, and then again pull towards you. Has anyone ever suffered with cramp in their calf? And have you gone to do this to release? This is a good one to release from cramp as well. And then relax off. So we'll do that a few times. So at your own pace, reach forwards, pull your toes towards you. Should feel a nice release in the calves as well. Breathe through it. And then relax off. And then go into it again. Now we'll be bringing the foam roller obviously at the end of this session. So for those of you who are suffering with plantar fasciitis, I've got loads of other ones to show you with the foam roller or the ball, okay, as a massage ball you can use. One more time, but I'm also covering a few more stretches, just pure body weight as well. How's that feeling? I can feel that running all the way down the back of my calves. Okay, from there, all I want you to do, I want you to put your foot in inner thigh. So put your foot to the inner thigh, like that. pull it as high up as you possibly can. Okay, and then from there, all I want you to do is I want you to reach down for that, the nice length of that leg. Again, gives you the opportunity to hold on to the toes and pull them towards you at the same time. And then just try and tuck your body down as low as you possibly can. But again, depends on your range of flexibility. Some of you may be able to close that gap and get your chest to touch. I cannot, okay? At the same time, I'm going to feel it in this knee here. So with my leg bent into that position, I should feel a little bit on my knee here. Hold that stretch. And at the same time with all that, as you're leaning over, you should feel a little bit of release running down that side of the body as well. So we're ticking a few boxes as we go. Multitasking. From there, sit up out of it. We're going to change. So straighten the other leg. Put the other foot onto the inner thigh, and then again, nice long reach down for those toes. You may find that you've got more flexion in one side than you have the other. That's fine, that's perfectly natural. What we're trying to do is even it both out. Try and get that dominant side to relax off, and then try and get your less dominant side, not lazy, less dominant, to engage. Now can you feel that? I can feel that running all the way up the back of my hamstring as well. So on this particular leg, I'm getting more on my hamstring release than on my other side. So it must mean that that side's a little bit tight with my hamstrings. Okay, we're going to go back into the other side again. So we're just going to do that release on each side one more time. So get that foot in. Lean in, and again, have you got any more length? Are you managing to reach any longer into it? Just going to hold it there. Breathe through it. So another 15 seconds. And then we'll switch sides. Now for those of you just like me who say, oh, I've not got time to stretch, or well, I get bored stretching. It's true, I do get bored. I'm the world's worst. Changeover. If I've either haven't got to do it because I'm not teaching it, and it's not really something I do teach very often, or if I don't go and do a class, don't do it. It's a bad habit. Okay, you need to get into a habit, take care of your body if you want to be able to get the same output that you used to. So we shouldn't really have any excuses, because at the moment I'm stretching off multiple areas and it won't take me that long if I commit to 15 minutes a day. That's all I need to do really. So we're going to hold it here for another 20 seconds and then we're going to ease back into a seated position. Right, just relax nice and steady. Okay, from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into a kneeling position. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you just to fold your toes underneath you. So not have them flat, but fold them underneath you. Okay, and then from there, just push back. So you're putting, so rather than leaning your body weight forward, push your butt backwards, and I'm pushing through my hands as well. That one is another good release for the plantar fasciitis, so push. Okay, and if you need to, then ease out of it and then push your butt back again from there. Okay, now it used to be a sitting position I used to do when I used to take part in judo, called za. Za means kneeling in Japanese. There's a little bit of a fact for you guys. From there, release off into it and then push back and down again. Now things like this could be done standing if you wanted to. So if you wanted to stand up, then what you'd do is literally you just lift and lower. So you'd lift and lower, like a calf raise, okay? but you can get the same benefits on the ground. And then relax from there. One more time, guys. And that's a good block we've spent on the sole of the foot, really. Right, relax out of it. Right, from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one leg back and I'm going to bring one leg through, okay? So from here, I've got a nice 90 degree on my front leg, and then on the back leg, I've got my foot flat on the floor, okay? It's like a hurdle stretch. And I'm trying to get as close to 90 degrees as I can and trying to keep my hips square forward, okay? So from there, I'm just going to try and push my hips down towards the ground. Pushing my hips down towards the ground. Where's my music gone? There it is. So can you feel the release in that top hip? Can you feel it in the glute on the side that you've got the leg bent on? If you can't, then try and get that 90 degree bend on the front leg, okay? And then if you want to, you can tuck your toes underneath you and lift a little bit. Now I can really feel it in that hip flexor. And again, I can feel it in that glute. So think about what you want to do. You can leave that leg down if you want to, or if you want just to add a little bit more intensity without causing damage, just lift. It's going to really activate that glute. I can feel that release. Once you've done the one side, relax out of it, so slowly bring that leg through. And then work your other leg through. So you may need, oh, that one needs a bit of help. So relax to start with, pushing that butt down, and we'll go from there. So just stay with that foot flat on the floor to begin with, knee on the floor too. Oh, that one's tight. Now guys, because we can kind of have a bit of a chat whilst we're doing it, if anyone wants to throw any particular areas they're struggling with, you can get typing whilst you hold these stretches. Let me know, because I have got my pad in front of me. From there, tuck the toes under. I'm going to lift up. Oh, I can feel that one. That one's good. What do we think about this one? Still trying to maintain a nice 90 degree bend on that front leg. Hips staying square, so I'm trying not to twist either. Relax that leg down, slowly bring that knee through from there. Now from there, all I want to do is walk my feet in a little bit and push my heels down towards the ground, okay? So push my heels down towards the ground. They're not touching at the moment, my hamstrings are a little bit tight. And nice long stretch of the arms forward. And just hold that position. If you want to shuffle your feet further towards you and touch, do it. And still keep pushing to drive your butt towards the rear. So driving your butt towards the back. Feel the release in the calves there, as well as running up the back of the leg to the top of the hamstrings. And the shoulder blades as well. From there, just rock forward, get into that plank position. So hold the plank position. And then just drop down. So relax the toes and then push through the heels of your hands and try and keep your hips flat on the floor, okay? So we get a lower back release, you'll feel a little bit in the abs. Breathe through it. And if you want to look towards the ceiling as well, just to align the spine, get a nice length of the spine running from top all the way through and back. Relax down. Hands go directly underneath the shoulders. Get the toes back in, we're going to push into the plank position. So push into plank and then push back so your butt's in the air, again towards the back. From there, rock forward into plank position and hold it. Lower down in that tricep stretch. Relax the toes and let's get that release in the back again. Look to the sky. Okay, from here, relax down, tuck your toes underneath you again and just push up onto your knees. Push all the way back, keeping the toes in again. And have a nice long stretch, walking the fingertips away from you. Now I'm trying to lower my chest down towards the ground so I can feel it in my shoulders, across the top of the back as well. And then from now I'm going to relax my feet off and I'm just going to bring my arms towards me a little bit so I can lower my elbows down to the ground and hit that child's pose position. So stay down. From that position, I know you're going to need to take a look. What I'm going to do is I'm going to thread one arm through between my elbow and my knee. So thread one arm through and just hold it there. Didn't put my phone on silent, did I? So by doing that, what I should be able to do is get a little bit more weight into that shoulder with my hand is in front of me. Unthread it and change over. So thread through and just relax the body weight down. So again, I'm getting a little bit more weight into this shoulder and I'm feeling a bit of a release all on this side of the body. Not forcing it, just letting my body weight it down. And then from there, unthread and both arms ahead of you again. Just drop your head down, relax, try and stay as low to the ground as you can. Now from there, all I'm going to do, I'm just going to rest the top of my head on the floor. I'm going to loop my arms behind me and push them towards the ceiling. I'm not putting too much weight on my head, so don't put too much weight on your head, guys. It's just there as a balance. Hold that stretch. Relax it down and then go for it again. And all I've done is I've just changed my hand. So I've got my left hand underneath my right hand at the moment. Relax it down and then I'm going to alternate and I'm going to have my right hand underneath my left hand. Just going to do that a couple of times. So at your own pace, nice and controlled, relax it off and then just switch which hand is underneath and which hand is on top. Relax, and then once you've done that a couple of times, take your hands out in front of you and lift your head. Remember, not putting too much weight on your head if you're still going through those releases with your shoulders and back. Right, slowly come back into that box position. So knees and hands on the floor. Now what we're going to do, we're going to bring one leg through. So I'm going to lift and I'm going to take one leg through, okay? So a nice long leg. I can drop the back knee to begin with. So dropping the back knee and I've got a nice 90-degree bend on my front leg. Hands can stay down on the ground to begin with. And again, I'm just pushing my hips down towards the ground. I'm going going to turn towards that front knee. I'm going to turn, but I'm going to try not to twist my body. So my hips are going to stay facing forward, but I'm going to try and turn to look behind me. Okay, you can take your arm with you if you want to as well. It's going to help stretch off the shoulder. And then relax, bring it back down. Change legs. So bring your other leg through, push the hips down towards the ground, and then take your arm and turn and look behind you. Still pushing your hips down towards the ground. Might feel a pinch in that hip. I know I am. And then relax, take that leg back again. Right, from there, we continue to help release hips and knees. Take a lie down. So from here, all I want you to do, put one leg up to 90 degrees, cross the other one over, and then you're going to hold on to the back of your thigh and bring the knee towards you. Okay? So I'm pulling the knee towards me. I can relax my shoulders down to the ground, and my elbow is actually resting on my inner thigh on this leg. Okay, so at the same time of pulling in, I'm pushing out as well. So it's that kind of motion. Okay? So I'm getting a release in my hamstrings, a little bit of a glute release, and then change sides. So switch, loop through, try and bring that knee towards your chest, whilst at the same time pushing that leg away. Should have put it on silent. Right, hold that position, okay? So, from there, you're going to change it again. This time, what you're going to do is put your foot flat on the floor, and you're going to hold on to the back of your ankle, okay? But a little bit higher up. So I'm going to hold a little bit higher up, and I'm going to pull that towards me, okay? So pulling that towards me, feeling a release in the hip, a little bit in the knee, so nice and controlled. Relax the shoulders down to the ground. And then relax it off. We're going to change sides. So through and hold on, bring it towards you. Relax. Now that one's well tighter. Right, change sides again. This time what I'm going to try and do is loop my forearms through, just to get a little bit more leverage, but again, don't only work to your pace. If you don't need any more leverage because you can already feel it, then don't go for what I'm doing right now. Just stick with your hands on there. Don't want anybody popping their hips out. Relax it and then change sides. How are we all finding that? Oh, hips, hip flexors, ow. Right, relax that leg off, okay? Lie flat, take your arms above you, and just get a full body stretch. So reach through your fingertips and point your toes, and then relax completely. So point the toes and reach to the fingertips, and then relax. Just pulse through that cycle a couple of times. So a little bit of tension and then the release. Keep going. From there, all I want you to do is flip on onto your front. Last little bit of lower body before we get the foam rollers out. It's the one that I absolutely hate, okay, but it is so valuable. So the knees go wide, toes are pointing in opposite directions. At the moment I'm supporting myself with my hands underneath my shoulders. I can already feel this, okay, because my hip flexors are really tight. So what I want you to do is don't force it because it hurts. From here, I'm just going to push back a little bit, and I'm literally only moving a fraction. So I'm pushing back, oh, there it is, and then I'm pushing forward. Okay, so I'm taking the tension out of my hips, and I push back a little bit. That, ow. How many of you are feeling that? Oh, don't like this one at all. And the reason why I don't like it is because I should have done it a whole lot sooner. Oh, not pleasant. So nice small motions. I'm pushing forward and I'm going to push back. Some of you may be able to literally get your butt over your heels. I cannot, and I won't be trying it. My hip flexors don't like me. Mine don't either. My hip flexors are not happy. Ow. I don't think anybody's got any. Has anyone got happy hip flexors? If you have, how? Right, relax forward a little bit. Carefully, oh, bring your knees towards you. So bring them underneath you. That is not nice, is it? And just relaxing towards the heels a touch. You stay low, so from here all I'm going to do is I'm going to take one leg out to a nice long length of the leg. I'm going to relax my foot on there and I'm going to point my toes towards the ceiling, okay? So my toes are pointing towards the ceiling, I'm practically sitting on my heel, and then from there all I'm going to do is nice controlled rotation, so I'm going to bring my foot towards me. Again, depends on what flexibility you've got. Oh, that is so tight. That joint is really tight. And then relax it up towards the ceiling from there. So controlled movements. I know it's a big focus on the lower body, but if you're anything like me, it's something that needs to be done. How are you feeling that one? Might feel it on your shin as well. So if you're sitting on that, you'll feel it on your shin. Oh. Right, slowly bring that knee back in towards you, and then we're going to change sides. What is wrong with this music? So sinking into that one, and then toes up, and then slowly push forward. I think we're going to need a lot more than yoga music to disguise all the squealing that comes out of me when we start rolling. Might need to put some really deep beats on. Yeah, Joanna, I don't think anybody does have any happy hip flexors. Right, here's the last little bit then. From here, knees underneath you, hands underneath your shoulders, either step it out or jump it out into like a box split. So we're going to stay low and we're just going to get that last little bit out of those hamstrings, inner thighs, glutes, the works. So I'm pushing my butt back, and again all I'm going to do is slow movements forwards and backwards. Got bigger range of movement on this one, me personally, but again stick with what's good for you. So slow movements. Now, how many of you have got the foam rollers? And how many of you are going to bin me off in the next like 3 or 4 minutes? Who's in it to the death? Right, we're just going to keep going through that movement for 1 more minute, and then that will be your 30 minutes for those of you who are pure body weight, and then we'll push on and do a little bit of rolling with that foam roller. And I want to see a show of hands. How many of you have got that foam roller? Now I'm finding that this side here is way tighter than the other side. I'm looking at myself on this screen. It looks like I've got nothing on my lower body at all. Right, 20 seconds, guys. Right, 10 seconds. Slowly bring your knees or your feet in towards you and then drop down. Right, just going to give you guys a minute. So for those of you who have completed your stretch and you haven't got a foam roller, by all means feel free to hang about and watch the excitement of somebody rolling around the floor with a foam roller, or just to get some tips for if you do invest in one. And for those of you who have got one, go and grab yours. Go and grab yours. I have had a bit of a talk about these in the previous ones, and I'm sure Anna has too. But they come in all different densities. So you may get ones which are hollow, like this. You may get ones which are solid. You may get ones which are completely smooth, or you may get ones with the bubbles on it. The other kind of rollers, and it's not exactly a roller, it's more of a massage ball, is you may be able to purchase these. Okay, this one is pretty solid, and as you can see, it's like spiked. You can use a tennis ball if you wanted to. So I don't remember where I hit it. You hate it. I know, it's not nice. They are great if you are suffering with things like really, really harsh knots, especially in your butt, in your back as well. There's loads of things you can do with them. So don't worry if you haven't got a rock solid spiky one, a tennis ball will be sufficient. Or even those of you suffering with plantar fasciitis, you can get yourself a water bowl. Not like you're drinking canisters, but like a Pepsi bottle or whatever. Any brand is acceptable before I ruin that. And fill it with water, obviously. Pop it into the freezer, and then from there, once it's frozen, you can roll out the sole of your foot with it. It's cold, obviously. It's not pleasant, but it would help you do the job. Right, so brilliant. So you've got the spiky ball. I'll start with the spiky ball, and then we'll move on to this one here. Now, you can do this standing, but obviously I'm not going to stand up because you'll lose me. Or you can do it on the floor. If you're standing, don't put your full body weight on it, whatever you do, because you will shoot through the ceiling. And if you're on the floor, again, I'm not putting my full body weight on it. All I do, pop it down, literally put my heel on the floor, and it's right under the bottom of my foot. And from there, all I'm going to do is like your, what foot would this be? Clutch. I've not driven for a while. It is the clutch, isn't it? Yeah. So all I'm doing is literally putting a little bit of pressure on and then relaxing off. So a little bit of pressure on and then relaxing off. It's not pleasant. It's like stepping on a hedgehog. Not that I've ever stepped on a hedgehog, to be fair, but I can imagine it's like stepping on a hedgehog. So just be careful with it. Nice slow movements. And then once you've done that a handful of times, you may find that certain areas are a little bit more tender than the other. Don't force it on those tender areas. So find it, stay on it, and then from there, all I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go side to side. So again, pivoting on my heel, side to side. So it's still controlled movements. And then from there, I might want to move forward and backwards. So my heel's coming off the floor now. And I'm just going forward and backwards. If you've got a foam roller, you can be doing exactly the same thing with the foam roller, okay, with the rolling. It's not so, well, it will work on a foam roller, but probably the spiky ball is your better option. So carry on playing with that one for those of you with ball. For those of you who've got a foam roller, what you can do is just put the whole of the foot on the bottom of it, slowly rolling forward and backwards. Okay, so slowly rolling forwards and backwards. No problem, John, that's awesome. Well, you'll go sort them hip flexors out, yeah, definitely. Just got to stick with it, haven't I? Right, again, what you can do is just literally just turn the foot out and in, as well as rolling forwards and backwards. That's a little bit more comfortable to roll on for me personally, because that is horrible. I use this when I can't walk on my butt. So that's one option for you guys. Another one is if you've got a foam roller, literally flex the toes. So like the one I was doing when you were pulling your toes back, you can flex your toes with this one as well. So that's another good one you can do. It's just a bit of toe flexion and then release it off and then roll it back to you and dig the toes in. Okay, so that's a couple of options you can go with. Working our way up, because a lot of us can sometimes suffer with our ankles. It may not be the ankle that's actually causing you the problem, it could be all the surrounding muscles and ligaments and tendons and this, that and the other. So what we can do is we can roll out lower calf. So you put it right above the heel on the lower calf. And again, you don't need to put full body weight on it. From there, all you may want to do is just slight turn of the foot. So I'm just turning it away from me and then towards me. Nice and controlled, you should feel that. So, ooh, cracking. And then from there, you might want to roll up a little bit more and do exactly the same thing. So we're rolling little by little, just doing exactly the same thing. So a bit at a time. Ah, found it. Ooh, that's a good one. And when you do find a point, there we go, try not to shy away from it. So I found a point where there's obviously some tension and not. What I need to do is I need to stay on it and just slowly ease it forward and backwards until I feel a little bit of a release. Oh, it's moved. And as soon as it moves, again, try not to shy away from it. Just keep working on it, bit by bit. That's right in my calf. And then keep moving towards it. Oh, that's horrible. That is horrible. Oof. No problem, Joanna. Oh, that is really not nice, is it? So again, you're going to need to spend more time on it than what I will give us, because you don't really want to watch me find the kind of lumps and bumps in my legs. You want to find them for yourself. So it's all about just making little movements and then turning in all sorts of different directions. So I'm going to carry on working up this leg, but I'll do it on the other one just so I'm not a bit lopsided, and I'll show you how to release the knee a little bit, because like I said to you originally, I've found that the outside this area here is giving me a little bit of jip. Don't know whether it's from running or what. It could be from doing the cycling without having my cleats, so I'm like, oh gosh, got my shoe in there, so it could be that, but it's a little bit of a niggle. So that needs work on. So I'm going to show you how to work on your knee, because we don't recommend you roll your knee specifically, but you can work on certain areas around it. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm literally just going to put the back of the leg, so like the crook of the knee, just on top of that foam roller. Okay, I'm not putting my body weight down on it, and all I'm going to do from now is just going to lift my leg. So I'm going to lift it, but there's no weight other than the natural weight of my leg, so I'm not forcing any pressure down. From there, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to, there we go, slightly turn my foot again. All I'm doing is I'm literally turning in those directions, not quick movements, all slow and controlled movements, and that you should be able to feel again. If anything's tight and pulling at that knee, you feel them band down the back of your leg there. Just slow movements. Again, not putting any downward pressure on it, just working by turning in towards you and slowly away from you. How many of you are finding kind of areas that you didn't even think could hurt? I know I am. Every day's a school day. So that's not actually my bad one. So let's try this one, see what happens. See if we can, oh, there we are. So at the moment I'm just going to hold it there. So I've got my foot at a bit of an angle at the moment because I've found a point of it. And I'm just going to stay there until I feel it ease off a little bit. And what you can do is, if you do find a point, is relax the foot down and then raise it. So relax it down and then raise it. I don't think anybody can do foam rolling without looking really serious. Oh, that is not pleasant. Okay. Again, what you can do is once you've done that part, come more like the groin side of the knee, and you're on a little bit more of the meaty fleshy part, and then you can start to work the back of the hamstrings. So you can, again, exactly the same thing. I'm moving up and down, forwards and back, in and out, just to stretch off the inner thigh and then the outer thigh. And then from there, I'll show you one more thing with the ball, and I'll let you get on with your tea. So the ball or the roller, but we've done this one with the roller before. If you want to sort your glutes out, then your glutes, all you got to do, I tend to sit on one to begin with, and then from there, slowly you can extend and retract the leg when you find a knot, obviously. Same thing with the ball, even more intense, even more unpleasant. So from there, just going to roll around until I find a point. Oh, there's one, okay? And then from there, all I do is once I've got that point, sit on it, stay there, and then slowly lower that leg slowly. And I mean, if you get to the point where it's excruciatingly painful, stay. Don't keep straightening that leg, stay on it. Be brave. If you can, if it eases off, continue to straighten it, and then with the same control, retract it. So same control. That is really not a pleasant one at all, okay? Oh, there it is, there's one. Same applies when you're doing back. So if you find it difficult to get down to the ground, no problem. You can do this with your back against the wall. Just put your tennis ball behind it, find a point in the shoulder blades or wherever that needs releasing, and you can do that release. And then all you do from there is literally just find the point, and then you can do the same with the arm. So you can lift it above the head, bring it down, you can open the arm out, or you can bring it across the chest. Okay, and all it's doing, just moving the muscles a little bit so that either the foam roller or the ball can work their way in between the muscle tissue to help break down the knots. If anyone's got any questions or anything, then please shoot. Give me a bit of feedback at the bottom if there's anything that you think we could do to help you a little bit more or cover on the next one. Other than that, have a very pleasant Friday night, guys. You got, what else we got? Tomorrow, no lives, but I'm sure we'll be throwing some bits and pieces around the group, and then Sunday, kicking off with the lives again. Happy weekend. I will catch you all soon as I come towards the camera.